Did you know that Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast? Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone, the palm of your hand, or use a computer if you want. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. For Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with absolutely no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Start by downloading the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM to get started.
LA Styles. What's happening, brother?
It's hot as hell in this. Yeah. Hold on. Which one is these? Battery high. Hold on.
You ready to kick this around yet?
You said what?
I said, you ready to do this tonight?
Yeah. Hold on. Get my shares out the way now. I have to connect my Bluetooth. I was in a whole nother conversation with Sabina on Snapchat. In a heated conversation about alpha women in the household. We ain't gonna get into that.
Right. Don't get into it yet. We definitely there's definitely gonna be a day that we gotta get into it. But it's time, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and kick this around a little bit.
Yeah. Hold
on. Let me know when you set on your side so we can go ahead and shoot off.
I should get my shares out the way. We go ahead. Hold on. I'm hot as a mud in here, man.
Man, you gotta get right, bro.
Man, I don't know what the. Hold on, I'm about to get to the front. I need to see what the hell is the heat on. Hell.
Man, that's how it is, man. This is your boy Black Knight 24, and that is my man, LA Styles, the LA Styles, man. Appreciate you for coming with us tonight. We're gonna take you on a ride tonight to understand different topics and various different twists that can go with this topic. Tonight's show is: do people still want families, spouses, and kids? And basically, what we're trying to understand is it used to be certain things that every person was looking to get. It was either, hey, I want to have kids by this age, or I want to be able to have a family. What is it? Are those things still something that people want? Do you still want to have, you know what I'm saying, a wife and some kids? Or if that's not what we want anymore? Have it changed because the structure of the household where it's less men and women married? Or is it less that you're staying with the person that you have kids with? What is it? Is the structure the same? Do you really love still being with, I want to get married, and then I want to have some kids, and then I want to do this and that? Or have it changed? Is it now that, hey, I want to be able to just have a job and maybe I have some kids? Or do I just want to have some kids and not get married? So tonight, man, kick it around with us, man. Let us know, you know what I'm saying, is that still the dynamic? Is the family...
Listen, man, don't come here with no PR answer. All right? We all know what the answer, quote unquote, possibly should be, or at least what it was back in the early 1900s, all the way up to the 1980s. But since then, a lot has changed. Me personally, I don't believe that that's the case. I believe that in the picture of the real world, when we think about end goal, that's what we picture ourselves in. Like me as a man, married to a very attractive woman, a woman that I'm very attracted to, along with having kids. But for the majority of people, or for a lot of people right now, I don't think that's the ideal thing. It's like, yeah, man, I want a spouse and kids. It almost seems like it's almost one or the other. Like, yeah, I would rather just have a girl and just, you know what I mean, be like that for forever. Or I just want kids. I really don't want the spouse because it's too much of a headache. Some people just got the idea of having a kid or having kids. They don't even think about who they having a kid with, because the person they want to have it with or end up having it with don't matter. Like, you ever had a person like that? Like, I want a son. I just want kids. They're not even saying like, oh, I want to meet the perfect one and then have kids. They're like, no, I want kids. Meaning to them, that's the person they have it with almost don't matter.
Right.
They'll be happy with not having that person. Once I get the kids out of that person, I really can care less about that person. I got the kids now. Not saying that that's women, it's men too. Like, oh, I just want to have kids, man. I don't really want to be tied down. You know what I mean? But I do want to at least try for a boy and a girl. Or at least want to have a son. I need to have a junior. But I want to be a player. I don't want to be tied to one woman. A lot of people think like that.
Right.
So I think the ideal situation and what we picture like a family is a man, a woman, or two adults in a household with kids. That's like the family dynamic, right?
Right.
Spouses, well, a spouse that they alternate, and then kids. I don't think that's what we actually want anymore, at least nowadays. Because we damn sure don't act like if that's the case. Look how we even go about picking spouses.
For real.
Kids with somebody in 2 months. Or were you really thinking about that as a family dynamic back then, 2 months ago? Like, yeah, he got to be the one that I'm about to build this family with. And 2 months later, y'all pregnant. Just to be like 3 months later, y'all broke up. I don't think that's how we think about the family dynamic anymore. I mean, that is the dynamic that's set in stone. But I don't think that's what we as people want nowadays. That's the honest truth. Because if it is, we don't move like that's what we want. We don't act like that's what we want. We don't do what we need to be doing to set that up, to get that in our mid-30s, late 30s. We just doing anything right now. Normally, kids used to be playing. No disrespect.
True.
Hey, everybody that had kids, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they're grateful for their kids, right? But this is the honest situation right here, right? Boom. People used to plan like, man, we gonna have kids, we'll have our first kid at this age or around this age. We're gonna get married, then we're gonna have kids and this, that, and other. And that was the blue. Now people just getting pregnant. It's not planned for. We just having sex, and kids like the byproduct. No disrespect to all the kids out there, you know what I mean? That we love so much.
Right. I'm definitely with you. Guys, let us know, you know what I'm saying, how do you feel? Do you still believe that people want the quote unquote American dream of all this hey, I'm gonna find me a wife, I'm gonna find me that person I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship with? Do you believe that still exists? Or do you think that, hey, having an all-American family is not the goal anymore? Like, okay, I really don't have to have the same dynamic that, you know what I'm saying, basically I thought I needed. Because now it seems like it's more people who don't live in the same household as their mother and their father. Could that be just because, A, we just irresponsible and, you know what I'm saying, having sex with anybody? Or B, that we don't really care as much who that person is, because as long as we take care of our kids, we feel like we're doing a great job. Because it just don't seem to be the same dynamic that I grew up on. I grew up that, hey, you find a young woman that you like, that you got a lot in common with, and then you turn around and you have a family with, and then you go off and you procreate, and then y'all make a family together. Let us know, how do y'all feel about it, and what do y'all feel about it? Let's kick it around a little bit, man. Let's go to the queue, man. Hey, guys, appreciate y'all for coming with us, Lord, and on this ride. Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. We're here Monday through Friday, Central Time. Let's go. Let's get it.
I believe that it does still exist, But I think that a lot has changed from back in the day, because there's a lot of single parent families out there where they've only got a mom, and there's broken families. So I think that has a lot of influence on people's decisions when it comes to that. I think a lot of people are more likely to want that whole family life and build a foundation. And if their parents have continuously stayed together or are still married till they get old.
Shout out to Baby Lopez. Thank you for the comment. I definitely think that plays a big part in it. If you come from a two-parent household, and I'm pretty sure that's a dynamic that you want to see as you know, some become an adult. I do definitely know that it's a lot of one-parent household for whatever reason. It could be because the mother, you know what I'm saying, couldn't get along with the father, or the father couldn't get along with the mother. But it's definitely different now. Not saying it was never mothers or single parents back in the day, because I know it was, but it seemed like it's more evident now than ever. And Baby Lopez, do you think that is because that either women have got to a point where they're not either accepting things from a man anymore, or that they just have understand that, hey, I can do it by myself? And if so, why? Why is it like now that that's not like we don't care anymore on how to you know what I'm saying, stick with what our, you know what I'm saying, initial dreams are, what we had. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I'm not even finna sit here and lie. Like, I know brothers who just shouldn't be having kids. Like, bro, I don't know why she laid down with you, bro. I have no idea, but she was crazy. I know some women like that too. Not as many women as I know, you know, men. Now that's facts, but I do know women who like that too. So let us know, like, is it just because, you know what I'm saying, it's something that I'm not looking for? Or is it something that I want? You know what I'm saying? Because it used to be that was the you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, the dream. I get the dream girl, we have the dream kids, and then we live happy ever after. But that don't seem that we moving so far away from that part. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to figure out tonight why. Let's go to the queue.
Well, we know why. Shout out to Baby Lopez. That's my people. You know what I mean? Sabina without the R. You know what I mean? Long time Xbox friend. She finally showed up. She lives in the UK. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She is single and ready to mingle. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure y'all follow her. Baby Lopez. Y'all make sure y'all follow her, man. It's going to be entertaining. You know what I mean?
Hey.
She's very strongly opinionated.
Well, Baby Lopez, I didn't know that you knew my man Styles. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming in and gracing us with your presence. Baby Lopez, keep that fire coming. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Let's go to the queue.
I feel like your options kind of sucks. Like A and B, can we have a C option? People are no longer forced to stay in relationships that are selfish, unfulfilling, and unhealthy. It's no longer frowned upon to not accept less than what you're worth in a relationship. I think that's maybe why we have a higher divorce rate, is because in general people don't know how to treat each other. And thank God today we don't have to stick through a super unhealthy situation, because there's plenty of family units that are still together that are 10 times more toxic than, you know, like parents who are co-parenting and, you know, not together anymore. So we need an option C also. We're going to introduce, or are people no longer trapped in unhealthy relationships?
Combination of all first. So I'm thinking about putting the horns on that marriage situation that you brought up. You know what I mean?
Hey,
but go get your shit off, Coffee. I'm touching on that marriage situation.
Purebred. I definitely can see where Purebred coming from, because when it was a lot back in the times that women stayed in relationships that were either forced in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, or dudes was forced in shotgun weddings because, you know what I'm saying, they messed, they had a oops, now they pregnant, now the daddy like, oh no, you got a pregnant, you gonna stay with her. I
We need more
definitely
of
think,
that. Yeah, bring that back.
hey, yes and no. Yes and no, too. I definitely believe unhealthy relationships can be something that people be a part of. I don't know if I would say I feel like that was a small sample size. The C option that you want to introduce, we can introduce that. That, you know, people getting out of a bad relationship. You know what I'm saying? But that can't be the whole notion is why that don't, because you gotta understand all relationships gonna be toxic for all different reasons. It can be toxic just because, you know what I'm saying, you picked the wrong guy. It can be toxic because you like, you know what I'm saying, bad boys, just, you know what I'm saying, stable men. It could be toxic because you'll choose a, you know what I'm saying, a woman who got you know what I'm saying, a lot of good looks, but she can't perform any wifely duties of cooking, cleaning, and etc. You know what I'm saying? It could be we all make bad decisions, but I don't think if that sample size is gonna be small, because you could have been left a relationship before you got to before you got to marriage. I don't think nobody waited till they got you married and they treated you bad. I think they were treating you bad all the time. You ignored it. So I have no problem with, you know what I'm saying, opening that option up. But I think it's a small sample size. And if not, we will kick it around and see if that's true or not. So, you know what I'm saying, Pure Britt added another aspect. So do people still want family and, you know what I'm saying, wives and kids? And if they don't, why? Could it be because they also some unhealthy relationships or something else? I'm gonna go to Styles and then we'll go back to the Q. What you got, Styles?
Man, listen, divorce rates is up high because these people shouldn't be getting married in the first place.
Okay.
All right, let's not kid ourselves here. A lot of these marriages, right? Back in the day, you used to know somebody since you was 16. Right?
True.
All the way through high school. We came up through middle school together, high school. We lived on the same block for X amount of time. They didn't get married until they was late 20s, early 30s. Or if they did get married young, if you go further back, they did get married young, right? It was something about that person that it was what the love at first sight, what that turned into. I don't know if that exists, but it's what that turned like, man, this is the one, right? And whether or not once they got married at 18, got married at 18, they lived their life like that was the one, right? Although either one of them, both of them had choices, and divorce was looked down upon around this time. So even if I didn't like her to that degree, we got married at 18, they never got divorced. Like, hey man, we just gonna try to make this thing work. For better or for worse, right? I'm not saying their relationships were great. I don't know. It lasted. It lasted. Nowadays, marriage is based. We get in relationships not even based on if this person can do something for me or looking at it 20 years down the line. We're not even getting married. Normally, majority of not even getting married 5 or 10 years down the line. He having kids that get married the same year we met somebody. Then 2 years later, he just not what I thought he was. What did you think he was? You only know him 12 months.
Right.
What did you think he was? And now we divorced. Now we divorced. But because we marrying people that we don't even know. We don't know if this is. Listen, not everybody that you meet is marriage potential. All right. Let me repeat that. Not everybody is of the pedigree of marriage just because you make them your boyfriend or girlfriend. Some of these motherfuckers are bridges. They meant for you to get from one side of life to the other side. I could have just had a bad breakup. And I'm thinking about going back to this individual. But you know what? This bridge just came up, which is this individual. And this individual going to help you get over your last situation and get you over to a better situation. But that might be all they're there for. They might be all
Hey.
there. It's a learning lesson. It's to
Facts.
get you from going back
Facts.
to what you was, and now you're in a better place when you break up with this person. But you so far, oh, he or she just saved me when I was so far down, and I did that and the other, so and so, and 2 months later, now I'm pregnant. Now he done ran up. I thought he was different. How? In 2 months?
Hey, big facts. I hope that's for men and women. This for men and women. He just using that, you know what I'm saying? It's for men and women. I hope y'all catching that.
So the relationship we're managing, molding, and trying to groom these 30-year relationships are based on 1 year relationships nowadays. And we as a people in 2021 and 2020, even going down to 2000, we know better. We know how people are. We know that people are shady. We know people put on two faces. We know if I meet a girl right now, if she come to me and she's the aggressor talking to me, right? Or if I'm the aggressor, now you a woman, and I'm talking to you, I came to you trying to get your number, this, that, and other. You should know what's on my mind. Not saying that I'm a bad guy, but you should know what's on my mind. Why did he just come to me and start talking to me like that? Obviously, he must be attracted to you, right?
Okay.
Why in 2 months you are basing we can get married and potentially have kids on what me approaching you in a bar? You gotta feel the situation out. You don't know me. And anytime in these next couple months, even probably in the next year, I'm gonna always put on my best face when I'm around you. Although you might see a negative side sometimes, because you might see me angry or mad or whatever the case is. But my job is to never let you see the dark side of me. Because I'm trying to win you.
It's the honeymoon
and then
phase.
Once I won you and you see that dark side, oh, he's a different person. Oh, that side been there. You just never cared to see it. I believe you need to see people in all their phases of emotional status. You don't need to see him when he's mad and angry. You need to see him when he's past mad and angry. What does he do when he get on Hawk status? Is he outside flipping your car over? Is he outside breaking out windows? You know what I mean? Is he a tire slasher? He's the type to tie you up, you know what I mean, on some misery type shit? Break your ankles, leave you in the basement to write a book about it? You need to know that before we take these further steps as far as having kids or getting married to somebody.
But you know why?
That's what we not seeing.
Because we want instant gratification. We believe that we want to believe in a fairy tale that somebody gonna ride into our life and our life is just gonna change overnight because this just feel right. It's supposed. Have you in anything that you do? If you start a brand new job and you left your last job and the manager was getting on your nerves, you don't know if this new job is gonna be better. It's always better in the beginning because nobody do dating. We always talk about time in. How much time did you date a person before they came back? Right? So how do you know if it's no time in, you can't do it. You just can't. So you have to get to a point of understanding that it's a process. The process has to play itself out. If it doesn't, guess what? Then it's the reason why you back into this point again, like all dudes or all women. No, it's the one thing I did. Me and my female friends and my brothers, we talk about is accountability. Like in every relationship, you did something wrong for that relationship to go wrong. You might didn't make a person do you wrong, but you did something wrong. You missed the red flags that was inside of that situation. You could have been on stop by and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm over this," but we continue to push forward because we don't want to see them until the end. Let's go to the queue and then we're gonna come back with great conversation.
Kids are hard as fuck.
Hey, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree 1000%. Kids, the great thing about kids and why they so hard is you can't fake it with kids. Can't. It's that unconditional love that they have to see you. They can see you if you're not sincere. Kids will push you past your faking that syndrome. You can't fake with a kid forever and think that they can't see you. That's the great thing about a kid. They understand your spirit. They understand your aura. They understand if you got a good chi or not. Because they come from a place of being unbiased. They don't care if you got, you know what I'm saying, you 6'2" and you got abs and muscles. They don't care how many Instagram and you know Facebook followers you have. That's not impressive to them. So that's what makes kids so hard. It's no way you can fool a kid. They require you to put in work for you to see an ultimate reward. That's why kids hard. At least from my point of view. Let's go to the queue.
Well, thank you for the welcome. I do appreciate that. On what you said, I agree with a lot of the things that you were saying. But I think women these days, and I've spoken to a few women, for some reason, they have got the mindset that they can do it by themselves and it doesn't matter. I've met women that don't mind getting pregnant just by anybody just because they want to have a baby. For me, that doesn't make sense, because it's important who you choose as the mother of your children or the father of your children. They're going to be, the way I see it, in your life for the rest of, you know, your life. They're going to be in your life because they're going to have a part in the children's life. So it's a very important decision to make when you do choose someone to have children with. But for some reason, like I said, I've met quite a few women.
I guess, baby, I know y'all, the women probably killing you. I never understand why would you want to have a kid with just anybody, right? And it's just for a lot of basic reasons. If you just having a kid with anybody, you don't know their health tree. You don't know any problems that your kid is gonna have health wise. So when you go to the doctor and something wrong with your kid, they be like, "Hey, what? You know what I'm saying? Is this in their father's history, in their medical history?" You're like, I don't know. Guess what? That takes more time to solve what's wrong with your kid, right? Or if the father had mental health issues, guess what? You just think the kid bad as hell, but he not. His father had mental health issues. I'm not saying that single mothers cannot do a great job and facilitate a great home. And the reason why I know they can, because I am a product of a single mother. I think all single mothers should be put on a pedestal and worship, because they have to do an endless supply job, and it's not thankful. Because when I was coming up, I thought my mother was the worst in the world. I thought she didn't want me to have no fun. I thought she didn't care about my happiness. But I just didn't know that she had to wear so many different hats. She never had a person she could turn me over and they could be the bad guy. She had to be the good cop and the bad cop. But I also think it's women who believe there's nothing wrong with being independent. Like, we believe being independent means that, we don't need nobody. That's not independence. That's isolation. We don't know the difference between the two. I'm not telling you to, gotta take, you gotta let a man or, you know what I'm saying, degrade you, treat you bad so y'all can they can be around their father. I'm not saying that. But we got to get out of this mindset. Independence means that, I don't need nobody. No, that's not independence. That's isolation. You got something to say on that, Sal?
Along with that, man, it's like, at least what I can say for back in the day, because I doubt if all households happened back in the day. You know what I mean? They just chuck it up and roll with it. It was like, hey, man, it's the family that you wanted, so you got to, you know what I mean? It's almost like they took their vows more seriously. For better or
worse. Responsibility.
You know what I mean? Like, I did it. I got to man up. Nowadays, people ain't manning up. They gone.
Right.
They gone. Hey, nah, I'm good. The same for me, Chief. And they bounce. But I think it's we not that household dynamic, and this is off of the question a little bit. That household dynamic though is not. We're not dating with that in mind. In all honesty, we're not dating. People are not really picking the men that they think would be great husbands and doing this, that, and the other. We not. Let's not pretend like that's what we're doing, because that's not what men and women are doing. We just picking somebody that we're physically attracted to, for the most part. It's not everybody, but we're just picking the people that we're most attracted to, who got something that possibly that we want, or who could do something for us at that point in time. Which at that point in time, picking up a partner should never be based on what they can do for you at that point in time. Like at that point in time, you picking people for the wrong shit. Then,
true.
Are you supposed to be picking somebody who I don't need somebody for money, right? So why would I pick a girl who she has to have a good job? Why? You don't have to have a good job. You supposed to have a good job. Do you not got a good job or something? To be looking for somebody with a good job? Like I don't know what the problem is. Boom, not saying that person can't have a good job, right? But that's not based on my selection. If I'm talking about building a household, it shouldn't be like the main thing I'm looking for. I'm talking about a partner. I should be based on finding somebody on what I need, what I would think I need in my household to be a good partner. Not just, hey man, she got a big booty, she got big breasts. You know what I mean? That's not wife / future wife qualification. All right, she got man, she got a B, a double B or something. You know what I mean? They soft. What they got to do with your future household? Nothing. Now, I'm not saying don't have that, but we got to look deeper in these. This is what the dating was meant for. It's a screening process. If we're gonna talk about the household, it's a screening process. These families that we've been making since the 80s hasn't been families that was thought about being made, right? Meaning, this ain't the ideal partner that I chose, and then we picked when we were gonna choose kids at the ideal time. When I finished college, when you finish college, we gonna buy this house. You got a ride, I got a ride. Now let's have kids. Now that we financially stable, it used to be like that. Now we having kids and we damn near still in school ourselves. Not because we really plan. Some people are planning on it, like they trying to trap you on both sides. But we're not even planning to have kids. So we making families that's like, damn, what's the term? We making families, but they're just not. It's not playing. You know what I mean? Back then it used to be more of a playing situation. Now we just looking to have sex, and then just kids come up, and they're like, oh, it's a broken household. Well, it really was never a household.
Right.
It was really never a household in the first place.
I
you
definitely
want somebody to man up and then just try to stick it together and keep it together. And that's not how we are built nowadays with the freedom that we choose to actually utilize nowadays with leaving. Motherfuckers will leave. I ain't staying with her. I ain't staying with him. I'm out of here. And they just leave.
Definitely.
So the marriage is, I don't know. But going back to the question, I don't think that's what people want nowadays. I think that's stuck in our heads currently, but it's not what we want. Because if that's what we actually wanted, we would take at the very least, the dating scene / the screening scene way more serious. But how many of us are rushing into a relationship just because we don't want to be lonely?
Well, I mean, definitely.
If someone seems way better, just a little better than your ex, you willing to roll with it. Think how many kids is having nowadays. We don't even bother to try to use protection on either side.
Hell no.
We just making like I've known people that have 2, 3, 4 kids by different women in the same year. In the same year. You can't tell me that man was thinking about having family. And he damn sure wasn't thinking about wrapping it up either though.
Sure the hell wasn't.
And then the girl that he was talking to damn near wasn't thinking about wrapping it up. He probably met all of them in the same year. What does that say? Neither one of them individuals are family oriented as far as mentally goes. Don't change the fact that they made a family. So what is that man supposed to do? Should he go get all 3, 4, 5 wives or women and put them in the same household with him and say, this is our family now, I'm trying to stick around, but y'all gonna have to share me? Somebody, if he even chooses to stick with one, the other 2, 3, 4 gotta have the shorty another stick. your family is a broken household at this point in time because I picked to be with this woman. So now what? It's
I
happening on both sides.
definitely. It ain't just one sided. It's not one sided. I think a lot of people enter into sex without. I ain't even going. They definitely understand what happened, but I think people enter into sex without the responsibility that they should owe each other in the life that they bring in the world. It's not just a woman did this, or a man did this, did. Both of you have a responsibility to the life that you brought into the world to give them a better life than they would normally have. Like you owe that to your child. I'm not telling you got to stand in a broken situation, but it used to be when people used to be in a relationship, they cared about the whole process, and that process really meant something. Versus, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, hey, we made a baby. Forget it. I'll do it by myself. I don't care. Like you have some women who get pregnant, not even tell the dude for whatever reason. She don't tell the dude. But this is your man, Black Knight 24. That is my main man, the LA Style. Make sure y'all follow us on stereo and all our social media platforms. Let's get back to the queue.
Did you know that you used to be able to go to a physician and say, "Hello, physician, I have an argumentative wife. I would like narcotics." And then you could just keep your wife hopped up on narcotics so she wasn't suicidal, depressed, and didn't want to fucking run off. So yeah, a lot has changed, but I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think increased divorce rate is inherently negative, because listen, if my parents were still together, I'm glad that they are not together. Like, it would have been way more traumatic for my childhood if they would have been together versus divorce. So yeah, it's not always like, divorce isn't always a bad thing.
Oh no, I definitely agree. The divorce is not a bad thing, but not having accountability for what you're doing is bad. Like if you make a child, that's horrible. Because now you really don't care. So how much are you really gonna be around? Now sometimes you gotta get divorced from people. We just can't be together. We very toxic to each other, right? But we talking about, if you know you don't want to be with a person. Me personally, I'm not finna create a life with you because I know I'm not gonna be around you. Like, that's just me personally. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Let's go to the queue.
Oh, damn. I was on board the discussion, and then you guys lost me at wifely duties. I'm out. Like, I ain't trying to be your mom. Men should be taught how to survive. It's weird that women are taught how to survive for themselves, but men aren't. So what happens is, instead of looking for an actual, like, romantic relationship, they just look for a replacement for the mother. That's not me. I'm out.
Who?
Huh? Who said about wifely duties?
I don't know. I mean, I can't recall that I said anything about wifely duty. So I'm lost on that. Me personally, I don't think I said that, but I don't think I heard you say it either. But maybe I tuned out if you said it, or if I said it,
I definitely didn't say nothing about no wifely duty.
I didn't think I said nothing. But let me just put this out there. Personally, I believe all relationships are a partnership. We all contribute in different ways in that relationship. Certain things that I might do, you don't have to do because I do them. Certain things that you do, I don't have to do them because you do them. But we should be able to always take stress off each other. When a person is telling you, hey, you have to do this and I have to do that, then you should run. It's a partnership. Why do I have to always do this and you don't ever get to do this? I'm not with that. I do believe if you have a mindset like that, hey, I don't think you're supposed to go back home to your mama. I think you need to fix your mindset. Why go back home to your mama and burden her? I feel like men who say, hey, that's how they think, I think it's dumb. Personally.
It depends on what y'all situation is.
Well, I mean that too, but
Only y'all two can determine what it is. You know what I mean?
right.
I don't know what
It's
wifely
each.
duties are, but if we talking about the old dynamic of the men bring home the bacon and the women cook it type of deal, which is the man works and pay the bills and the woman takes care of the house. If that's what y'all's situation is and y'all both cool with that, then what's the problem? But I don't know members say anything about no wifely duties. Hey, whatever y'all team dynamic is that works for y'all is what works for y'all. Right. I don't know what wifely duties are unless we referring to that.
I look at it like this: every relationship is going to be different because each entity is different. Whatever ground rules you and your partner set, that's the ground rules y'all set. If you said that he gonna be a you know what I'm saying, a daddy at home, and you have the career that's more lucrative, and it makes more sense that he stays at home and raise the kids. Why? Maybe you're a movie star, maybe you're an attorney that makes top figures. So you figure, hey, it's better that you stay at home with the kids and do this. That's your situation. Whatever makes you guys' situation better, then that's your situation. I don't believe anybody can choose what's wifely duties and husband duties other than those two people in the relationship. Just for clarification. Me personally, and I struggle with it, I don't believe I should have to wait on anybody or believe that I have to let somebody do something that I can't do. I believe I can do everything. I might can't do it as well. I might can't cook as well as a woman, but hey, I bet you I can survive. I might not clean better than a woman.
Ever since they got DoorDash, I can definitely survive.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, I don't believe it's a certain only woman duty that I know I cannot perform is having kids. But I definitely know I can go adopt. So, hey, I might can't have them, but I sure can find them. But other than that, that will be the only thing that I would categorize as a woman duty is, you know what I'm saying, having kids. It's only woman duty that's out there, but I could definitely go in different channels. If I wanted to get a kid, I could get one. But that's the only thing I would probably say could be possibly woman duties.
I don't know. We got to see if she come back in the queue.
Yeah. Hey, Pure Brick, come back in the queue and let us know when did we say that, and let us know what's going on with that.
Yeah, you've been called to the hot seat, judge and juror.
All right. And if we said it, let us know when we said it and how we said it, so we can fix the content that we're saying. We definitely not. I don't believe that anybody have to conform to any mindset or mantra that's out there. You and your mate chooses you know what I'm saying, the journey that y'all choose in y'all relationship. Not anybody else. Not this false narrative that men supposed to do this, women supposed to do this. And personally, the reason I believe like that is because I come from a single mother who did it all. So I know a woman can do it all. Just like I know a man can do it all. If they choose to or they don't choose to do it, now that's because that's what they choose in their relationship. Let's go to the queue.
So, do I want a family?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nah, son. Nah, bump that.
Like nah.
No, yeah. I like having time. You know, I like being able to do whatever the fuck I want to. And like, as soon as you have babies, ain't no more of that. And also, like, to have a child, I would have to like teach them stuff and shape and mold, you know, their minds and stuff going into the future. Just let that sink in. I would have to teach a small child. And then they grow up with the shit that I teach them. Do any of us want that?
No. Hey, well, shout out to my boy Nas, man. Hey, bro, you know, hey, my Dominican brother, I love you to death. But you right. Everybody shouldn't have kids. Nope. That ain't for everybody. I know they want you to believe that is not for everybody. And at least Nas can understand what his strengths are and what his shortcomings are. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people can't say the same thing. A lot of people won't be honest with themselves. Like, you know what? I'm gonna make a terrible father. They won't tell you that. Hey, shout out to my boy Nas. Make sure y'all follow us. Make sure y'all give it, you know what I'm saying, help us, you know what I'm saying, increase our platform. So, but I definitely think Nas hit it dead on the head. A lot of people will not say, I'm bad at this. So why would I want to be in it? You're a person know you don't want to be in a relationship. Why be in one? You got something to say on it or not? I'm gonna go to the queue.
Oh, you go to the queue.
Well, the father of my children, I've known him for quite a few years. I knew him for years before we actually got married Islamically, only in Islam. And he didn't show his true colors until after we got married. So you have to always remember as well, like, some people you are, you know, what you get is, what's that way? Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Somebody can always go through the loophole, but the screening process is still necessary to minimize that.
Always.
That's what it's there for.
100%. Always. I mean, it's always going to be a situation where you don't see everything. It's always going to be an outlier to every situation. No matter how bulletproof you think the source of the situation is. But just like she knew him for years and she never saw that coming, how many other people in other situations can say, I knew somebody for years? It's not a lot of people who can say that.
Or take this.
Most times.
Very quick, Coffee. This is what we also got to remember, right? Because we started in relationships, like real relationships, super early in life. All right? Super early in life. If you date somebody like 3-4 years, right? Even 5 years, right? That person can still change. You met them at 17. You dated till y'all was 22. Now you get married and have kids, and now he changed. He's still growing up.
Right.
He's still growing up. Y'all listen. Time in don't mean nothing. Again, the dating process is a screening process to help you find a close to, not even perfect, but a close to compatible partner. Right? That's what the screening process, that's what the dating process is for. Right? We still, right, not supposed to be having kids in marriage, at least in my opinion, if y'all believe in the whole American dream situation, right? Until it was supposed to be in your 30s. You weren't supposed to get married. You're supposed to get married first. That was normally around in your 30s, early to mid 30s, and then have kids. That's because if you waited that long, now you know this person is most likely settled into the person that they are. There's normally no more growing up when they in their 30s. You meeting somebody at 17, 18, yes, he can still be different once he turned 21, 22. And he can be different from that person once he hit 25, 26. And he can be different from that person once he hit 30. Him and or her.
Absolutely.
We're both still growing up. You talk teenagers
Facts.
and people in their early and mid 20s. A dude, we are not even mentally mature and physically mature until our late 20s.
Facts.
So just because you with somebody for some years, it depends on when those years were. If y'all was with each other from 25 to 30, most likely, quote unquote, you are who you're going to be for the rest of your life.
So true.
By the time you're around 30. Your anger, whatever your frustrations in life, your attitude, everything, the combination of everything to mold you, most likely have happened. You are normally who you are. So when you meet somebody that's around that same age, that's probably who they are. When you talk about people in their teens and early 20s, we gotta be dating with in the back of our head, knowing that they can possibly still change over the next 10 years because they're 20. But we're not looking that far ahead. We ain't even like we looking down the road at the home life, and we just putting the person that we're dating there because we're actively dating them.
It's because.
But that's why it's the vows of for better or for worse.
To death do us part.
That's the vows that y'all took. Hey, I ain't took the motherfuckers yet. That's the vows y'all took for better or for worse. In sickness and the health, for richer or for poor. So I don't even get what you're getting divorced for.
I'll tell you why.
Believe in the vows that you took.
It's not that. It's not that. It's because you got outside your lane. You can't make an informed decision unless you know what that process, you know what I'm saying, details. You can't, I mean, they won't make you a doctor when you come out of high school. You know why? Because you don't understand all the things that you need for that profession. Right?
Now, because we talking about adults getting married here now. I find it hard to believe that these motherfuckers don't understand for better or for worse. I don't give a fuck that you don't know your mate. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I know what happened was because you believe in religion, you stood before God, you stood before a preacher or a reverend or a deacon or some shit, and you agreed that for better or for worse, richer or for poor, sickness and health, that you would stay by this person's side. That's what you agreed to. As an adult, I know you for a fact you understand those words. And I didn't make you pick the person that you stand them to.
I
but
get
if
that.
That's the case, and they don't fit that person, you shouldn't be picking that person. You shouldn't be picking that person. But because you did and you said those words, I don't see what you're getting divorced for.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not saying that they don't understand the words. You can understand the written language. You understand how to come up with a correct paragraph. What's happening? What people do is they're not willing to do work in relationships, right? Like a lot of people don't get that. Like no relationship just becomes great because you meet, both of you got this, you know what I'm saying? She got pretty teeth, you got pretty teeth, and this thing. No, it's work. And a lot of times we're not completely ready for a relationship. Right? There's a lot of broken people who have broken people teaching them and giving them advice on what something should look like. Right? So they take that into their relationship, into their marriage, and guess what happens? They're broken, right? You don't really truly know what you really want. You're just going off what mama and grandma told you, and grandma, you know what I'm saying? Grandma had 8 kids by 5 different fathers, so she think all men trash. Mama had 4 kids by 2 different fathers, and she thinks now don't trust them or only get a man with a job. So you go in a situation without understanding what the qualifications is, understanding what it means to death do you part. Like you hear the words, but are you built to actually live that out? Right? Most people are not. Most people in life are quitters, right? This is the reason why you look at and the people who get divorced, they like, hey man, I ain't got to take this. Oh, he was treating me like this. So this just happened overnight. He just started it. Now, in Baby Lopez's situation, that's an outlier. Human beings are creatures of habit. They just didn't start overnight. And if they did, you probably got married in the first 30 days. The new show, Married in 90 Days. Guess what? You can't know me. You can't. It's just truth. So they're not. What I mean when I said they're outside their lane is they shouldn't even be in the dating situation because they don't understand themselves completely. They're not ready for that level. So therefore, they shouldn't even be in the level. They shouldn't even be dating. They should be fixing themselves. But since they're usually when you got to fix yourself, that's the hardest relationship to manage. Because the only person to blame why you don't get better is you. Because you don't want to do the work. So guess what you'll do? You'll rather go get in a relationship with somebody else and hope that they can fill them voids in your life. You hoping that they can plug those holes in your life. And what happens is they start exposing them holes more and more. Because every time someone comes up in your relationship, you started pointing like, oh, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this. But I really don't want to do it either. But I feel like you should do it for me because I'm broken in that way. They started exposing the very thing that you thought you was going to get away from. And now you want to get married? And you think you're going to be able to stand that what a marriage takes? You're not going to like your spouse every day, people. I know they always tell you, oh, I love them unconditionally. Yes, you do. You don't like them all the time, right? True. Women gonna hate that a man, if you play video games, oh, that's all you do. You met me that way. Some men gonna hate women who can't cook.
We got a show like that, you know what I mean, coming soon. Y'all make sure to go into our bios on Stereo. Go down to our upcoming shows. Y'all make sure to find that spouse. I love them, but I don't like them.
Absolutely.
Next to that joint. Y'all make sure to be there when we talk about that.
Subscribe to that. But that's what I mean. People don't understand that you have to. A lot of people don't get this. Everything mom and dad told us. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. Most people.
We don't, because we ain't got to get married.
But what I'm saying is, you don't know that at that time, right?
You don't know what?
A lot of stuff.
That you don't have to get married.
What? No, you don't know that you're broken. Like most people will not do self-discovery and know that you're a broken person.
But I'm saying, what are you getting married for?
Because you believe in your head that this relationship, if I just had somebody who loved me and see me the way I want to be seen, I ain't gonna have self-doubt. I'm not gonna be a person who feel like I can't love no more. I don't really love myself completely, right? So if you're a woman and your husband come home and he don't give you straight up attention, you feel like, oh, that must mean it's somebody else, right? When your woman, you know what I'm saying, is going through her chemicals, her cycle, you feel like, wow, why you look like that today? I met the IG you. That's what I think you're gonna look like every day. Because you needed a man might need that validation of having a beautiful woman on his arm all the time. That's a validation of how proud he is.
But you don't need to get married to have that though. So what are you getting married for?
What I'm telling you is,
the only thing marriage is for you to go before a court or someone of whatever your religion is, to go before someone, however y'all take your vows in whatever religion that you are, right? To go before them and to express this commitment to this person next to you for all time in front of your possibly friends and family, co-workers, associates, whoever the hell, and before your God, whatever your God is. That's the only thing it's there for. I've been with my spouse for the better part of 13 years. Since I was 25, and I'm going to be 38 later this year, and we not married. What are you getting married for if you don't have that level of commitment as an adult to this person? That's the only reason marriage exists right now, as it stands right now. You could be with someone for 30, 40, 50 years in a monogamous relationship and don't have to get married. So what are we getting married for? Why would I voluntarily go up there to say these vows if I didn't mean them?
I'm not saying that
a year later, as a grown-ass adult. This is what I'm saying. You throwing rope.
I get you. I'm not throwing rope. What I'm telling you is,
niggas ain't walking down the aisles with a gun under their back like they used to. Like, nah, nigga, you ain't running away from this one. You got a pregnant, you gonna stay. Niggas ain't got no shotguns to niggas' backs up nowadays. We're willingly going out and doing this. For what then? If that's what I'm saying. For what? Marriage is not needed to have a relationship or to have a family. So
I'm not saying that it is needed.
Because you still ain't said the answer.
I told you the answer. No,
you just said, oh, because after a long day, you can come in, you can see this person, you can do that without marriage.
I'm not saying that you can't do that without marriage. What I'm telling you is,
so you ain't told me nothing to why you getting married.
I did. You because I'm not telling you the answer.
That's not a reason. That's an excuse then. That's not a reason. That's an excuse.
A void. I feel that. I feel what I feel that this situation, some people have looked their whole life to get married. They might have came from a family that, hey, my grandma was married, my sister married, everybody in my family married. That's the next step for me. I feel that right there will bring me closure. That right there will take me to a next level. I won't have whatever is motivating and pushing me there. I'm not saying that it's perfect. You got to, everybody.
That's not a reason then.
The reason is that they believe
that's an excuse.
Marriage will fix everything. Just because we know, because you.
So what are you getting divorced for?
Because that person knows now.
You can't have it now. Coffee, you throwing rope, dog.
I'm not throwing rope.
You can't have it both ways.
You
if
can.
You feel that strongly about getting married, then you can't get divorced.
And
there's a difference between a reason to do something and an excuse. And what you gave me is a lot of excuses for motherfuckers.
I'm not giving you an excuse. It's not an excuse.
You ain't gave me not one reason yet.
I gave you a reason. You call it an excuse. You call it an excuse.
By definition, it's an excuse.
I'm
giving you
no. Hold on.
My people got married. That's the
I'm
definition
giving
of an
you
excuse.
their
something on somebody else.
I'm not putting it on somebody else. I'm giving you their mindset. The difference between people is I can have a different understanding of something versus you. Me personally, I'm not going to enter in something if I'm not totally sure on all levels. That's the difference between somebody else who's not secure in what they feel and what they think. So for me and you, we're not going to enter into that. But if a person has not did the self-development of their selves, right? Anything. It's like a woman who have a child because she think it's gonna keep the dude. She don't know it's gonna keep the dude, but she do it anyway. If she tell you, "Oh, I thought it was gonna keep him," that's not an excuse. That she just basically telling you that's an indictment on how she believes. That's her thought process. Your thought process can be have flaws in them, but it also can be what you think.
I ain't saying it don't. That's the whole reason behind why I'm asking the question on why we even get married in the first place. Why people even getting married in the first place? Because it's not needed. Normally, right? And then we done got to the point where we're going to get some of these messages out of here real soon. Make sure ain't nobody getting lost, because we done sent a message maybe 15 minutes ago, so we're going to have to get them caught up.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what is it needed for? Even though we're not waiting to marry to have families anyway. But those broken marriage, normally a marriage comes with a family. Normally that's the point of y'all getting married. It's like, oh, I want to be with this person, want to raise a family with this person. Or maybe you already got kids. You just think marriage is going to complete your situation. So you have a divorce. You got a broken household. Because that man and woman is finna most likely split up. Right? So why are we getting married in the first place that soon? We don't even, it's not even necessary. You know how many people I know that they got relationships that say my relationship was better before I got married? And then it went bad once I got married? For whatever reason. I can't tell you what their reason is, but for whatever reason. So why are we getting married? The marriage, the ceremony is only a situation between y'all two as adults. I don't know why y'all want to be legally binding like that. To each his own. Not saying that I don't want to be, but it's not for now. But hey, y'all want to take this vow to each other legally. For what reason? It has to be a reason, not an excuse. Has to be a reason. A reason is something that involves me. An excuse is something I put on someone else. Like, I'm getting married. Why you get married in LA? Oh, because my girl want to get married. That's an excuse then. That's not a reason. If I tell you something has to be from my perspective, not from someone else, that's when it changed from a reason to an excuse. Now, if I'm going to give you a reason why I want to get married, say, hey, man, I want to do this to show my son something better, blah, blah, skip it. It's still kind of an excuse because I'm involving someone else. I haven't told you my perspective of it has to involve me and all of me for it to be a reason. Man, why did you go rob that bank? Man, I needed the money. Okay, then nigga, that's the reason. If I say, hey man, my baby mama was coming at me sideways, the court's doing this, that, and the other, trying to put me on child support, now they're trying to put me in jail, that's an excuse.
What I'm saying is, a person mindset is their mindset. That's why they chose to do it, right? Have you ever made a decision and you thought a decision at the time you thought. Like, you could think, hey, this is a great idea. Doesn't mean it's a great idea. That's what you thought. You didn't do all the fact checking and everything to make sure that was a good idea or a bad idea. But at the time you make something, just if you go into a marriage and you like, hey, I'm ready to be this, I'm ready to be this, I'm ready to be this, and nobody ever made you do the work on you. Like, you come from, hey, it's just, hey, I know this is what I need to do. And you find out it really ain't. That's not because that's an excuse. That's what you really thought at that time. At that time, you thought that is how. That's what you think.
Because you just involved someone else when you gave the answer. It didn't matter what your thought process was.
No.
That don't change what it was. That's like,
that's an excuse. I thought that was a good thing.
Say it's self-defense. Can I say, oh man, but in his head he thought it was self-defense, but the dude didn't have a gun, but he shot him. But I thought he had a gun, so it was self-defense. They gonna say, no, nigga, that's murder. No matter what you thought, he didn't have a gun. It's murder. But that's the fact.
But the fact is that when I entered something, that was so. That's not an excuse. If so, a person think it's so, they believe. That's my belief, because I.
Excuse, though, Coffee. Why are you throwing so much
how is it an excuse when I think that way?
Listen. If I say, listen, hey lady, I don't care how you feel, right? I want to go out and I want to have sex with other women, right? And she say, no, you know what I mean? You shouldn't do that. And I still go out and do it because I feel like I need to do it. Does that make it right, or does that still make it wrong that I'm doing it? It doesn't change the fact that I, Leonard Anderson, feel like I have to go sleep with this woman. Don't change the fact if it's right or wrong or not. Right and wrong is not gray. It's black and white.
I'm not saying it's
why
right.
Are we getting married? Right? So boom, if that's the case, and you putting all these excuses on why people get married, then we as entire people fail. Because that means my kids is out here doing that shit that I didn't pass down the proper knowledge for what they doing. You didn't do the same thing.
That's my point.
Other people didn't do the same thing, so then we all just failed. We all just failed the system.
That's what I'm saying.
Because people like to get married based on excuses and not proper reasons.
But you can have a reason that is not as a great reason to do something. Like,
but it has to be a reason, though. Is what I'm saying. It's still by definition it has to be a reason. They ain't majority of shit you said not a reason. It's an excuse. By definition, it's an excuse.
How is it an excuse? Because I believe that, hey, I've been dating this person for this long. I feel like the next step is to get married. Hey, we're gonna pause the conversation so we can clear the queue and y'all can give us y'all feedback, because we'll keep going back and forth all night long. So let's go to the queue.
Yeah, because coffee's tripping in here.
Well, I knew the father of my children since we was kids for quite a few years, and he claimed to love me for years and years and years before we decided to actually get married. I didn't see his true colors until after we got married and I was pregnant with his child. Some people will only allow you to see how much of them they decide they want you to see. And that is an issue. Some people, they're out here and they just put everything out about them straight out there. This is who I am, this is how I am, and this is just clear as day. But there's a lot of people out there that are pretenders. And yeah.
Okay. Facts.
So I just walked in, and with the question, do people still want families? I definitely do. I want to get married. I want to find the love of my life. I want to have kids. I'm 30 and I don't have kids. Not in relationship. And I hope it does happen for me. But for some time now, I've also been thinking about possibly looking into adopting or fostering, because as much as I want my own kids, there are so many children on this earth without a family, without someone who cares about them or loves them. And so that's a really feasible option for me, that even if I don't find a man and have my own kids, that would be my next step.
Is it a reason why you haven't met that person? Let us know. Is it a reason why? Is it because you have chosen not to because you haven't came across the right mate? Or is it because you're looking for a different type of man? Is it a reason, or you just haven't met that right person yet? Let's go to the queue.
But there's a difference between changing and growing and hiding who you really are.
That's true.
People don't hide.
Go ahead.
Unless you're a serial killer, people don't normally hide themselves for that long. We normally just tend to overlook or not see shit. What's more? what's more believable? Coffee. That someone hid who they truly are, just in a relationship, to hid who they truly are. Let's say I'm a cheater. I hid the fact that I was cheating for 6, 7, 8 years, or is it more believable that you didn't care to see that I was cheating for 5, 6, 7, 8 years?
I definitely think it's more that you stayed blind because you didn't want to see it. You felt like it would go away. For me, that's how I personally feel.
Well, I always didn't want to believe it. If someone brought it to you, just that ain't them. And you just keep on moving on with life for whatever reason.
Right.
Red flags come up, it gotta be questioned. All right. This somebody that you building, and I don't listen. Y'all gotta stop being soft out here. All right. This is people that we talking about building your future with. If something comes up that's questionable, you need to be questioning it. Hands down. I need answers. Listen, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but this girl's out here saying that she's pregnant with your baby. I need to know if that's true or not. Is there even a possibility? Right? If there isn't, okay, cool, we can move forward. But I'm thinking if everything was good kosher between us, we wouldn't even be in a situation for somebody to be even saying this about you. But I do get that people lie, right? But
True.
The fact that it even came up means I have to question about it. Now you're like, oh no, man, you know what I mean? We gonna just overlook that. My husband won't do nothing like that. And then 5 years later, 2 years later, when the baby is born, they do a blood test in his head. We need that can still happen even when you question. He can still lie. You know what I mean? Possibly lie, but it has to be addressed at least when it happens. Whenever you get information, it's your responsibility to come to me with it. Hell, I need to know if there's somebody out there saying this about me, whether it's true or not. Because it might be a lie. I need to know that someone out here saying that. If you came to me and said, hey, I didn't know because nobody never contacted me with it, and my wife never said nothing, I guess, because she brushed it off knowing that so-and-so, but what if I did fuck off? And I just didn't even know that she was pregnant. Now she just trying to break up my home, so she contacted my wife, but my wife's brushing it off. Now you hear a year later, whatever, with some child support or some shit. So like, what the fuck? What the fuck you talking about? I'm recording, man.
I definitely believe when it comes down to the fact that every avenue has to be explored. So if you in a relationship, I believe if any information comes your way and say, hey, so your man or your woman are possibly doing something, you got to go at it. You got to attack it and to at least figure out if it's truthful or not. Because it could be false or it could be true. So if you're not, evaluating each situation, don't get down to the nitty gritty and be like, oh, I found this out afterwards. Right? Yeah. Well, my little sister, my play little sister, her thing was she believed totally 100% in her baby father. Against me. I'm talking about we was in the same crib together. We was raised like sisters. And when I brought her information, I don't want to hurt you, but I definitely don't want to leave you in the dark. She didn't want to believe it. Fast forward 5 years later, when he got 2 kids out there, and now they hitting his pocket for child support, and you wonder where his check going, and he still hadn't told you, hey, he don't got DNA tested, and he is the father. As would say, shout out Mark. Now you want to come back and say, oh, all men ain't it. No, you had your chance to investigate this one allegation, at least on my end, but you chose not to. Sometimes we don't want to see a red flag because we don't want to put trouble in paradise. Trouble is already there. You just keep looking at the water, hoping that the waves don't come ashore. That's what you're looking at. Let's go to the queue.
Nah, I think in general, marriage is protection, spiritual protection from God, and especially spiritual protection from the loved ones.
Okay, I can see how he can see that. I can see how he can see that. Not meaning that you should enter in marriage just to, you know what I'm saying, to be covered in a spiritual sense. Because then even doing that, you still living a lie. So, I mean, spiritually, God would know that you're lying by being married. So, to me, but I definitely get what he means. I definitely know people like, I got to get married because I go to church. Definitely understand what he means. Let's go to the queue.
And I damn sure wouldn't want to be in a marriage because, like, I mean, like, in a marriage, you got to do, like, real difficult things, like try and care.
Yeah, damn, nice.
Yeah, like, I'm not built like that.
He's not lying, ladies and gentlemen. He's not lying. Shout out to my Dominican brother, Nas, man. Appreciate that, man.
Yes, I'm just joining the show, and what is the topic tonight? Do you boys need some sort of advice from an older lady like me about families? What's the topic?
The topic is: do people still want family and kids? Is it reason why people get married? We want to know. Okay, the divorce rate is so high, so that must mean either people don't want marriages, or people don't understand what it means to be in a marriage and how to work in a marriage. We want to know why, because we believe it has changed from the old guard. The old guard used to be you met somebody, y'all dated, you got to know that person, you knew their family, and then you entered into being engaged. And as you went to being engaged, the engagement will be a year and a half or two, and you're still getting to know that person, and then you get married, or in the process you might have kids before that, but usually you have kids and you have your family. That's no longer more of the model anymore. The model now is you just have kids, or you have a couple kids, and then maybe down the line you find somebody that you might want to be with or not, but you still be with them because you feel like they might bring something better to your life. Ooh. So we're trying to figure out and discover. Now, for us personally, we already have a stand on it, but we have family members and friends that are wavering on it. So we bring questions and ideas together to have an open forum discussion that we all can learn in transparency to each other. We want to help somebody out there who might be listening, who might be going through that situation right now. They might not want to tell us they're going through it, but this conversation can help them move forward. Make sure you follow us on Stereo and all our social media platforms. Let's get back to the queue.
Marriage isn't right for everybody.
Okay, baby Lopez, why do you say marriage isn't right for everybody? I don't believe that everybody should get married. That's my personal stand. I want it from a female point of view. I want to know what's your point of view on it. I personally believe the same way. I just want to know.
They don't even believe in the vows they take.
Right, but I never heard a woman say it, bro. I don't heard like dudes say it, like Nas just said it. Nas just said it. He gave you every reason why I would say you shouldn't do it, but I never heard a woman say, right, that I don't believe marriage is for everybody. Never in my whole life. I've never heard a woman say. I always heard a woman say, I know it's a man out there that's gonna come marry me, yada 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 yada. But I never heard a woman say that, and I want to know why, from a woman's point of view, why that's so. You got anything to say on that, Styles? If not, I'm gonna go to the queue.
No, not really. And this is coming from almost two sides of the coin, because Coffee's been married how long?
6 years.
And I've been in for the better part of 13 years, the same relationship.
But we've been together.
But go ahead.
We've been together 23 years completely.
And married.
But we only been married 6.
And I've been in the same relationship for the better part. Of course, that's giving childish breakups and whatnot of 13 years, and I'm not married.
And I think a lot of time when we don't do, because we don't never think it through. So if you don't think it through, you'll rush into something, then you'll have hell on your hand. Let's go to the queue.
I think marriage works for some people and it doesn't work for others. It's not for everybody. If 2 people are on the same page and they have the same goals and they both want to get married and it's good for them and it can strengthen their relationship so they can have a great future, then why not? But if it's not for both of them, if it's right for one person and not right for the other person, then it's not going to work. It has to be right for both of them, and both of them have to want it. So, yeah.
What you got on that, Styles?
I agree with it. I ain't got too much pushback on that. It's got to be a 5.
All right, let's go to the queue.
Now, I may have missed it, but how do you know that person loves you before you marry them or get engaged if they don't really show it or they don't have no other way of showing it?
Let me take this call.
You got it? You want me to get it?
Let me heads up on this.
All right, go for it. The mic is hot. Go ahead.
This is the screening process that I've been talking about. Same thing this is the dating process. The dating process, right? You run that motherfucker like it's an obstacle course. You put them in positions that'll bring out certain emotions or probably redeem a certain reaction so you can see what it is.
Yes, sir.
You take, hey, we're going to go to this high-end restaurant just to see how they act nervous or whatever they place because they may have never been there before. We're going to go to the hood, see what their response is. We're going to go to a cookout over on this side of town, cookout on that side of town. We're going to go around some thugs or gangsters so you can see. You might go to the movie in the back side of the hood so you can see if the nigga going to be scary or not. If that nigga run off, they ain't the nigga for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes when you get in an argument, you might be a petty argument, but you'll push that argument, and then you gonna go over the top. You gonna take a minor thing, make it big, but it's a test. You make it big so you can see his reaction. If that motherfucker's willing to punch you, that's what you out of there. You out of there. All right, you got to put the person in position as a test, as they should be doing to you, as a test in certain situations. I'm telling y'all to go to the extremes that I just mentioned. All right. Hey, don't put that on me. Listen,
no, get it. He did it. He did it.
I'm not responsible for any of that. Yep. Don't come here for that. My name's going to change by the time you came back.
Hey, make sure y'all all comments to his Instagram DM. Y'all get him.
They ain't got no legal fees for you. Nothing coming. All right.
Go ahead. My bad. I thought you were done.
In that dating process, it's there to weed out people. We're taking the dating process and just making it like we go out on a couple of dinners with somebody and that's the dating process. No, that's not. You're just going to eat with somebody. You have to put them in different situations as this test, as this screening process, so you can get these parts of them that they might be hiding. If I'm trying to put my base face forward, I'm never going to put myself in a bad situation for you to see it. It's your job to put me in that bad situation to see it. That's your job to do. It's not my job to do for you. And best believe, if you pay attention, you will see the things that you need to see. Now, not saying that you should leave that person. If there's something, if it's worse or her worst case scenario is something that you can tolerate, hey, be happy.
Live with it.
If something happens and he run off and he leave you in the alley, hey, that's a no-go. All right? That's a complete no-go. If he stand up, but he can't fight, so what you seen after working him was that he can't fight, but he tried, hey, That's your dude right there. And listen, he's scary, but you know what I mean. Worst case scenario, he ain't gonna dip off on me. He gonna throw some hands. I might be dealing with a nigga who can throw some hands. He just can't fight. But hey, that's my boo. You know what I mean? I can take him to a couple times, give the karate classes. You know what I mean?
All right, we can get some tabo.
Yeah, it gotta be something that you can work with. If he do some shit or she do some shit that you can't work with, you gotta be gone. You gotta be gone. Because if you're not, then you're signing off that whatever their worst case scenario is acceptable to you.
Definitely.
Whatever the extreme is acceptable to you. You're accepting that. If you stay with that person after they showed you that that's what they do, after he left you in that alley, after he left you and your baby in the alley, and you continue to be with him, you gotta assume that he's gonna do that again. That's who he is. You probably can't change that. That's built in. If he show you that, you know what I mean? If he's a woman beater, if he's a repeat offender on cheating, y'all had this discussion, and he's still doing it, you gotta assume the worst, that he's gonna keep doing that. Now, if you could tolerate that, right, and you stay with him, then you're signing off that what they're doing is cool. Yes, are you gonna complain about it from time to time? I'm pretty sure you are, because you still don't want them to do it. That don't change the fact that that's who they are, because the consequence that you giving me, which is the talk, I can tolerate that. So I'm just gonna keep on doing it, because the only thing you're gonna do is argue with me.
I definitely
it's not a big enough consequence for me to stop
with that. Boundaries are.
Yeah.
Go ahead. My bad. I thought you were done.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I believe there's a reason why when you apply for a job, you got to bring a resume, right? Things that, you know what I'm saying, you say that you're good at. It's the reason why they ask you in an interview, what do you think you can, if it's one skill you have, if it's one skill is your weakness, what would that be? Or one skill is your strength, what would that be, right? It's the reason why they ask you that question. Because they're trying to get you to think outside the paper. They want you to give them some qualities. In every relationship, job, whatever, it must be boundaries. You don't have boundaries, then you're going to be in a messy situation, right? And you have to have penalties for those boundaries. Anytime you cross the line, if you don't have boundaries, you're going to be a habitual crossing the line. You're going to just keep crossing the line because there's no reason for you to stop, right? So you just keep doing it, even though the other person don't like it. You ain't did nothing to make me think that you really don't like it. Because when I cross the line, guess what? You let me come back across, and all you do is be upset for about 48 hours, and then we good. No, if you cross the line, you have to pay a price, men or women. Also, in relationship, as Maya Angelou said it perfectly, when people show you who they are, believe them. We don't want to believe that a person is who they are. If a person show you by disrespecting you, by, you know what I'm saying, or by not respecting you at all, believe that they don't care. People can tell you they love you, and really they don't. They love what you do for them. They love that they have somebody on their arm. They can say, "Oh, I got a husband. Oh, I got a fiance," right? But they don't show you that. If they don't show it to you, that's because they can't. They have less respect for you to say, "I'm not even gonna fake it," right? So guess what they telling you? I really don't up with you like that. I'm really just waiting on you to leave. I'm waiting on you to leave. Why are you here? But if you never make a move, guess what? Why would they move? They told you they don't give a damn.
You co-signing that it's acceptable.
Thank you. You're telling me it's okay to continue to treat you that way. What is the age-old question? Well, why do he treat me, or why does she treat me that way? Because you accept it.
And by accepting it, we mean like you can't actually do anything about changing them, right? But you got to get out of your head that you can change them. So what we mean, like, you're accepting it, meaning you're staying around. You got to leave. Right. The one action that you can do is leave. But we're not leaving. So in not leaving, we're co-signing that it's cool for them to do what they're doing because they are who they are. They're going to do it. You just assume that they're going to change because they love you, but then they do something else. So at that
and
point, in time,
something
you gotta
else.
get it out your head that they gonna change because they still doing shit that you've already, they're a repeat offender at this point in time. So you gotta leave. Fuck talking still, you gotta leave. Because if you don't leave, you're co-signing that only thing you're gonna do when they go to the extreme or do shit you don't like is complain about it. It's like a kid. You just can't keep telling the kid, hey, stop, don't do that. Hey, stop, don't do that. Eventually, you're going to have to go past, hey, stop, don't do that. Because as a kid...
You're going to have to stop them.
Yeah, you're going to have to stop me. Because you just keep saying, stop, don't do that. As I'm getting older, I keep doing whatever the fuck I want to. And the worst case scenario I get is the, hey, point of the finger, stop, don't do that. They ain't stopping nothing. Especially as I get older, I'm getting set in my ways. Like, hey, man, I'm looking at my other kids, my other friends, like, they get ass whoopings and punishments and shit like that. The only thing I get is stop, don't do that.
And you got to understand, if you think it's gonna go away because you're trying to be the nice guy or the nice woman, being quiet is the same way it's saying, hey, it's okay to do me that way. If you're quiet, if you never tell somebody they doing something wrong, why would they stop? They think you like it. And I know somebody gonna come back and push back and say, I told them. Okay, so after you told them and they did it again, what the hell did you do besides get mad and blow hot air? If you wouldn't let a stranger disrespect you, why would you let somebody who say they love you disrespect you? Right? You know I don't like this. So why would I let you get away with it? And the stranger don't even know me like that, but I bust their head to the white meat. Why would I let you get away with it?
And it's more disrespectful that the person who care about you is doing it.
Thank you.
The stranger, I'm doing it because I don't care about your feelings. But you know that because you don't know me and I don't know you. You know what I mean? I'm doing for what's in my best interest. Your mate not supposed to be doing what's in their best interest. Y'all supposed to be worried about each other. So if he willing to treat you or do some shit that's disrespectful to you like you a stranger, but he say he love you, he or she say they love you, that's beyond disrespect.
Definitely. And you gotta tell people straight up. You gotta tell them what they're doing to continue to hurt you. Like, just because a conversation is uncomfortable, and most uncomfortable conversations, discovery is made. And it always don't have to be that person understands what you're saying or that they agree with you. The discovery is that now you have discovered that they don't care. And now I'm the same way I came in, that's the same way I'm going out. Right? That's the discovery. You have figured out he won't give you what you need, not what you want. See, it's a difference. Sometimes we go in relationships and we need something, right? We need that. But then we'll say, okay, I guess I don't need it. I'm going to put it in the want pile and kick it out. No, I need that. And if you can't supply that, whatever that may be, I got to go. Because we've been told that we have to be in a relationship, right? We have to be in it. No, you don't. If it ain't making you happy, stop making excuses to be miserable. Stop making that excuse. You feel like, hey, this is not a healthy relationship for you. You're going out your way. And I want to say this out there to all the men and women who take back the guy or the woman they with. Hey, I got a side note for you. If you take somebody back, it doesn't erase what they did, right? They have to put the work in to show you that they're trying to they're trying to erase what they did, right? How long can they pay for something if you took them back? Because if they got to pay 2, 3, 10 years down the road, you shouldn't take them back. Another side note for you. If y'all was girlfriend and boyfriend when that infraction happened, right? And then y'all get engaged, hey, bro, you can't bring that up no more. You can't bring it up no more. Unless he or she moves different, you can't bring that up no more. You know why? Because you think that he's doing something great. You know why? Because you accepted the engagement. You said yes to the dress. That's the ultimate thing that you say yes to. So you believe when you say yes, hey, he won't do that no more. Hey, she won't cheat no more. Hey, she gonna do this. He gonna do it. Once you say yes to that process, bro, you should no longer be bringing that up. Do that means that dude or that woman should stop trying to earn that respect that they should have never lost? No, it doesn't mean that. But yes, you can't bring that up in arguments no more. You can't. Ladies and gentlemen, I want something to die in 2021. This needs to die in 2021, along with the COVID. Stop going through people's phones. Stop going through people's phones. 2021. Let's make that die. Don't go through nobody else's phone. You got to go through their phone. Hey, go get a moving truck and go live your life in a better situation. Because they making you feel like that? If you feel like that you got to go through their phone to keep them on the straight and narrow, bruh, you ain't got to go through their phone. They ain't worth it you no more. Hit the road. Now you take them back at first. You might go through it because you hurt right now. You don't know what to believe. But bro, if you are a habitual person going through people's phones, stop that, man. For what reason are you doing it? What good reason are you gonna find? I don't look for trouble. Trouble gonna find me already. I ain't looking for it. If I come to a point that I think my wife is moving crazy, bro, I gotta go. If you find out your husband is moving a certain way that you don't like, you should go. Why go through turmoil? I hate to show cheaters. You know why? Because they bring them all the information and they say, do you want to confront them? Hell no. I just need a copy of the tape. I don't need to confront them. Because when everybody comes, he said she said you just up and left. Watch this. I don't know why that person left. I'll send it to you. Give me your phone number. I'll send it to you. Check my social media. I'll give it to you. You know I left. Stop playing. We keep looking for validation for things. I know he's cheating. I just can't find it. What kind of life is that? Who want to go through life telling me they can find out? No, I'm not going to wait on somebody to bust my head. If I feel like you moving in a situation and you're not making this relationship a priority, so now I think you tipping out, guess what? I don't need validation by catching you. Because in my head, your mind will play more games than the person actually cheating on you. Your mind gonna make it worse than it ever could be. So why play that game? Let's go to the queue unless you got something to say, Style.
No. All I gotta say is we are almost at the 10:40 mark, 2 hours and 40 minutes. So we got 20 minutes left, about 23 minutes left. Because we out of here at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. You have 20 minutes, get your messages in now, get your feelings in now. Again, the topic is, which we can get back to our families, how we think about them, as husband and wife and kids, kind of dead as far as what we actually want. No PR statements over here. Talking real talk. All right, don't give me of course. Man, that's clearly that's not what we want. So let's keep it real. But if you do think that, why?
Right. And that got to be part of, you know what I'm saying? Make sure when you answer the question, you answer it from your heart. Don't answer it because you don't want nobody to know if it's some pain in your life. Because guess what? Who cares other than you? If I need help, I'm gonna ask the real live question that's gonna help me be better than I am. For the gentleman, Q Dog, let us know if you think in your real heart of heart that situation gonna get better. The question that you asked us, how do you get somebody to show you that, and why do you think they show you? Ask yourself, out of all the times that if you have asked for that, if you never asked for it, then you need to go ask that person. That'd be the first thing. The first thing, if you haven't never asked that question, go ask that person. And then the second thing, if you have, how many times have you asked them and it not changed? That's your answer right there. They're not gonna change. Let's go to the queue. This is your boy Black Knight 24. That is the LA Styles, man. Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, man. Make sure you come back every day. Every Monday through Friday, we're gonna hit you with a banger. Every Monday through Friday. Tomorrow's show is Overrated, Underrated, Freedoms. Be here, 9 p.m. Same app, same two co-hosts. We'll get it in. Let's go to.
Yeah, that's what I love right there. Miss PZ18. I am also a foster parent myself, my wife and I. And it's just a definition. I think a lot of times we just go with the stereotypical what we think a family is. If you want a family, it's up to you to decide what that looks like. Obviously, having a partner makes things a little bit easier, more rewarding. But like I said, there are about almost 400,000 kids in the United States are in the foster care system. So if you have it in your heart, please, yes, absolutely be a foster parent.
Hey, man, I want to shout out those two individuals, man. I want to shout out them because, like you said, there's so many kids out here who just need somebody to love them. Somebody to take a chance on them and give them the life that they should have already. The right that you should be born to people who love you and understand that that's their responsibility. In some cases, you might have got raped. In other cases, the mother or father might have died. But in most cases, we're just not doing the basic responsibilities that we're supposed to, man. And I really want to shout out to them, man. Right now, I definitely echo what he said, man. If you got space in your heart, you got space in your house, man, take a chance. It's a little boy, a little girl out there who just needs somebody to love them, to show them how to love. And you got to understand, they're not going to be receptive to it at the beginning because they've been hurt. People don't try to break their spirit. But hey, if you got it in your heart and you can love, hey man, get that love up, man. I appreciate them, man. I salute you. I salute you, Queen. I salute you, King, man. Continue to do that. We need more people willing to show love and give love when people need love.
Also, there are couples like entrepreneurs and, they don't want to have kids. They're on just making money and business minded, and they get married because they just want to be a couple, but yet they don't want to have children. Both of them have decided they don't want to bring children into this world, but yeah, they still get married as well. So yeah.
True. There's definitely people like this. Their careers, their children. They things are their children. Or they call their dogs and cats their children.
And what's crazy, their marriages last longer than others.
That's so true. But they insecure in the decision they made. A lot of people not secure in their decision. They trying to force somebody into being a father or force somebody into being a mother. They told you they didn't want to be one. But guess what? I'm going to have a baby anyway. Yeah, I'm on birth control. All of a sudden, 9 months later, here go Junior here. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Most people who marriage is basically, we're a power couple. I love you. And the greatest thing about us, we understand what we don't want and what we do want. Kids are not on the menu. You're like, well, why? How can they be so happy? Because they got each other. They got all the things that they wanted in that relationship, and they're not confused about what they want and they don't want. Get clarification. Let's go to the queue.
Styles, watch me piss a whole bunch of people off. Well, I mean, I don't really need to have kids. I could just get a dog. It's pretty much the same thing, right?
Hey, I like the way Knives always know. Hey, let's go. I'm gonna go to Style, right?
Knives is secure who he is. He know what he want and what he don't want.
I love it. I love Knives, bro.
As Coffee would tell you. So, hey, get that dog.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you why. A person like Knives will have women knocking down his door. He's unwaveringly secure in his own self. That's attractive. He's not going to change. He's gonna stay the course. He's unwavering. You can't get him off his mark. He is true to him. Ladies, that is the true definition of finding somebody that you can be happy with. No matter what, rain, sleet, storm, no matter the economy up or down, he's going to be him. He's not going to change on you. Every season, you don't get a different person. You get the consistent same person. That what makes him great, because he's not going to change the way he feels just because, hey, you cut your hair off. You're still going to be him. It's not going to change because you try to tell him all the benefits of having a kid. He's going to tell you, that's not me. And you're wasting your breath, continue to talk about it. That's what's up. Hey, Nas, you already know, man. We kick it. Hey, your brother, that's my Dominican brother, and you know we rock together. So just him and Styles, they the crazy, you know what I'm saying, part of the family.
Nah, we gonna keep it real. What you don't want to hear, I'm willing to tell you.
That's true. I will echo that 100 times. If you think, and one thing I can say, I believe me and Styles, we both kick it. I kick it, you know what I'm saying, more politically. I'll tell you the truth, but you know what I'm saying, I try not to cut your head off. The reason why I love, that's my brother, you know what I'm saying, Styles, because he don't care. He gonna kill you. Two to the head, one to the chest. He don't even care.
Don't care.
And
I can't be babysitting adult. I'm not here to babysit adult.
That would make our
further in life by doing that. We're here because we as a people, no matter your race, just as either Americans or just adults, period, been fucking up for years.
So true.
We ain't gonna fix that by someone just making excuses for us. So he's like, oh, nah, man, it's okay for you to keep messing up and for us to keep messing up and keep on doing these shit that's by definition insane. We gonna keep on doing the same thing but expecting a different result. No.
Right, no, that ain't gonna work.
No, so I'm not here to tell you that. That's not my place. If that's what your, listen, you got the wrong person. If that's what you need, if you need a yes man, you got the wrong person. If you come over here with any problems or any opinions, I'm not a yes man. Now, I'm not gonna always just go against you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not just out here being an a-hole. You saying something that's correct? Hey, listen, I agree. Just keep moving. But on some straight bullshit, nah. I'm very blunt, very direct, and I'm very technical. It's just me by nature, all right? My bullshit, my I don't give a fuck level is through the roof.
At an all-time high.
Yeah.
That would make our show great, because we got two people who gonna kick it right down to you. We're not personally attacking anybody, but hey, if you say some off the wall or some stuff that's because you're a woman, that's why it's right. No, that don't mean it's right. Just because you're a dude and you say something because we dudes, you think we gonna have you back? Nah, that's not right. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to all the shows we done. You'll see it. We kill dudes, we kill women, dogs, and everybody. If you're not bringing real true stuff, if you're trying to say political answers, you don't really want to. You want to give us the PR answer that everybody gives. You want to give us the answer that you give in the interview. We're gonna kill it.
Yeah, with information.
With information, we're gonna give facts.
Just being a hater. Now I got information. Let's go to stats. Let's go to facts. Let's talk about real shit. This is the show we talk about real shit. All right, ain't nothing clickbait. Ain't nothing over the top just to be purposely over the top. We are who we are. Let's have a real conversation over here. That's what we do. If you ready for a real conversation or real topic, legitimate, and we do play from here and there because I don't necessarily want the show to be serious all the way fucking through.
Right.
You know what I mean? I will go into my play mode and I'll make light up things and joke a little bit here and there so we can, you know what I mean? Because it's all meant to have fun. This ain't a fucking Dr. Phil at 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
All right?
We definitely ain't gonna do that. We definitely gonna give you. We put a comedy spin on real serious conversation that we all have. Every topic every show that we have, please believe we are very much invested in those topics, right? We welcome people to go to our Instagram DM and send us different things that they want to hear us, saying topics and shows on. But I can tell you for a fact that we will not put a topic up that we feel like it's some bull crap. We make sure we have total control over making sure we give you an authentic show. I'm not going to bring a topic here. If one day Styles want to do a bull crap topic, I'm gonna say, hey brother, hey man, we're gonna have to get somebody sub from it because I ain't got nothing to say on it. I don't think nothing somebody gonna say on it is gonna bring something. That's just how real we are with each other and with you. We appreciate you allowing us to come into your ear and give you, have a great conversation. So we're not gonna disrespect that you allow us to come there for 2 hours every Monday through Friday. We're not gonna send you no bull crap, bro. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna always be true to who we are. That's how we kick it on our bigger podcast that we are the initiator. Spotify, Apple, anywhere you stream a podcast and look for We Are the Initiator. We kick it. We don't do none of that bull crap. We're gonna give you real life stuff. The same topics that you talk about with your friends, where they don't really give you all the information you want to hear. They give you them friend answer, and you're like, nah. All right, thank you. Nah, we don't give you that. You don't get no softball answer over here. We're gonna give it to you real and raw. With facts. Men and women lie, numbers don't. And if you think I'm giving you something wrong, hey, push back on me 100%. Let's go to the queue.
Oh my gosh. So when I first started listening to this, I thought for sure, I was like, of course people still want families. Like, I wanted one. And
okay,
my little girl wants one. But a lot of these people nowadays, I'm a lot older. Growing up, I don't think these people really want these families, and it would be sexist or racist or no, you're not woke enough. If you were gonna have a family before a certain age of accomplishing every goal of life, so there's no time for families anymore. But I mean, do I think that some people want them still? Yes, but not anybody that's 30 years old or younger right now.
Facts. Hannah. Shout out to Hannah.
I knew what was tripping.
Fire. If I had a fire emoji, I'll throw it your way right now. Right now. That is factual. First of all, if you're 30 and under, hey, unless you don't met the best man, the best woman of your life, and y'all been in this thing grinding forever, bruh, I'm not telling you to put ambition before love, but you're gonna have ambition. Gotta come somewhere, and I'm just gonna tell you, if it come at the latter part of your life, bro, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be real difficult if it come at the latter part of your life. If you think you're gonna go back to school and have the same attention span at like 40 to grab something, you can, but it's gonna be more difficult than when you can grab it right out of high school, right? It's just difficult. I believe the reason why families are not at their peak like they used to, because now it's more things that you can do. It used to be, get out of high school, get a good job, marry your high school sweetheart, have some babies, and your life was great. It's different avenues now. I can be anything I choose to be. So therefore, you can't have everything. You're not going to have everything at the same time. You can't tell me that you can go out and be a doctor, have a wife, have some kids, and give everything in your life equal balance. You can't. And if you think so, you're selfish. Because you have to be somewhat selfless. You have to be a jerk to something to be successful at something else. I'm either going to be a bad father or a great doctor. Right? And people are like, well, that's horrible. Why do you think that? Because I got to put in long hours to develop this career. And once you get to a point where your career is great, guess what you got to do? That's when I get my balance because I'm good at this now. Once I get good at this, then I believe you got to be you cannot be a professional, in your personal life failure, but professionally you're a success. That's selfish because you're only thinking about, you have to get to a point where both of them I got to be successful in my personal life as in my professional life. And everything, two things can be true at one time, but you also have to be able to balance those two things. In some careers and some situations, you can't balance at the same time because they demand more time than others. That's what I feel. Go ahead, Styles. I know you got something to say.
No, I'm good, man. We almost out of here. We got to get
all right. Let me go to the queue.
Got like
Hannah.
5 minutes left.
Hannah. Hey, Hannah. Hey, fire emoji to you, Hannah. Fire emoji to you.
So for everybody listening, if you do have children, a little word of advice, take them out of school right now. Just bring them over to Black Knight and Styles, because I don't know about y'all, but I just learned more than I ever learned in K through 12. I mean, hey, y'all boys, as usual, putting it out there, chopping it up, hitting us with all the big facts. We appreciate you. Stay blessed, stay humble, stay as great as you are. And until next time, tu tienes a comer culo.
Hola, King, man. Appreciate that, Knives, man. Nothing but love for you, brother. Appreciate you.
Y'all make sure to follow Knives, too, man. He be acting a fool on here.
Hey, he gonna keep it real, though. Hey, you gotta love him because he gonna keep it real with you, man. Shout out to my brother Knives, man. Let's go to the queue, and then we'll come back.
Okay, Black Knight. I agree. You can't have everything in life, but it also is your perspective on what is important to have in life. Because I did have my kids younger, and you know what? You get it done. And you know what? When they're grown and gone, I'm retire. I'm gonna get to do so much fun stuff still. I'm not gonna be in a rocking chair here, like in a stroller. Okay, nobody's gonna have to push me around and badass. But I mean, it's what you want and to achieve your own happiness, because people right now, the younger generations are looking for the bigger, better, and what they can achieve in just all this stuff. But in the long run, like, money does not buy you happiness and fulfill you fully. Like, I mean, to a degree, the kids I have, I mean, the best thing I did in my life was these babies, and they're rock stars. So, I mean,
Hannah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Let me preface my conversation. When I mean professional and personal success is whatever you dictate that to be. For me, a father of 5 and a father of 2 dogs, I think that my kids have made me the greatest man, along with my wife, ever I could be. Right? It's nothing else that I think I have done greater than be a father and be a husband. It's the highlight of my resume. No matter what else I accomplish in life, for me, that's the greatest thing I ever did. All I want you to say at the end of my life is he was a great father and a great husband, and I'm good with that. But what I'm saying is, if you start trying to get in the big boy lane, men don't mature as fast as women, right? We don't. Hey, I know some men out there might get in the queue and be like, oh, that's right. No, that's true. When we were 17, we wasn't thinking about, hey, man, we should get married. We weren't thinking about life stuff at 21. Some of us was always going to be some outliers out there. I'm not going to say everybody, but we wasn't. So you have to mature to understand what means happiness. So if you are in college already, and just because other people that have matured believe in, hey, bro, you know what? I just need a great job in this. That ain't how I was thinking. I was ambitious, right? I didn't know that kids was going to fulfill me the way that they did. I loved kids. I was the greatest uncle, all that. I didn't know that they was going to make me better. I didn't think something so small and so fragile could make me better as a man, better as a person that's in my professional career. I didn't think that. I didn't think they could give me that different depth of perspective depth of how I wanted to be more hungry for them. I didn't have that. So if you don't have that, if my thirst was to be the greatest professional success I could be until I had them. So what I'm saying is you have to understand, like you said, what's your happiness. And if you don't know, and you always think, well, I want to be this, blaze that path. Don't start wasting people's time and their life because you don't know what you want. I'm basically just saying, if you know what you want, attack it. If you wavery and the only thing you know is you want to be a successful person, don't go over here and ruin a woman's life because you think you want to be in a relationship, but you really ain't willing to put in the work for it. That's what I'm saying. It's about that time, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. I am Black Knight 24. That is my man, the LA Styles. I'm Black Knight 24 on all my social media sites. Please go out and follow me. Also follow us on Stereo. Every Monday through Friday, we bring a different show. Tomorrow, our Friday series, Over and Under Freedom. Man, we appreciate the love. We appreciate everybody who came in and shared with us and made the show great. Man, I wish everybody happiness and peace and love. I hope everybody's doing good. If you've been sick during the pandemic, hope you get well. If anybody lost somebody, I send my deepest condolences to you and your family, man. And I pray that y'all can get through this tough time, man. It's 11 o'clock, man, and this is our time to be out. I thank you for coming up, showing up. I'm tremendously humbled by everybody showing up for the show. Continue to follow us. Continue to help us grow our brand. Man, you support us. We support you, man. Hey, I'm out. I'm Black Knight 24. This is my man, the LA Styles, man. The mic is hot for you, brother.
Listen, man, y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. All right? Especially those of you, especially if you anywhere, because I got a feeling people overseas gonna feel some type of way. But Americans, we need y'all in here. Is freedom overrated?
Yes. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold my conscience.
I got some shit for it tomorrow, bro. You know what I mean? Should we have? There's people that want us to be able to do more, and I'm like, do we need to be able to do more? Because
right,
we got to get out of control with what we got. But hey, you know what I mean? They might tune it up. They might start taking shit away. But that's easy to know that's for tomorrow. That's for tomorrow. All right. That's the guy Coffee. You know what I mean? Also known as Black Knight 24 on here. I am LA Styles, aka the LA Styles. That's LA Styles on everything. All right, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, gaming. I am the one and only LA Styles. All right, you check me out. Also, I'm LA Styles on Apple Music, on Spotify Music. You know what I mean? I got some tracks out there for people who live stream. Y'all go check those out. I got 2 albums out right now. One for hip hop for 35 tracks. I got another one for with lo-fi. Right? Boom. Y'all go check that out. Also, our main body of work. We are the initiated. And best believe that we are 2 of the initiated.
Yes, sir.
We're a group of individuals. Make sure to check out the podcast. We are the initiated. That's on all the podcast streaming platforms. All right, boom. Get out the way. Shout out Young Soldier. Shout out Ronisha02. Shout out Sabina, aka Baby Lopez. Shout out Katie G. Shout out Katie's Plaything. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure to check us out. We gonna have some interesting conversations coming up. We just ain't been able to get time between everybody doing anything. Shout out Katie's Plaything, just had a birthday on the 10th. Shout out to my old lady.
Happy birthday,
King. Had a birthday on the 7th. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that had a birthday recently or got an upcoming birthday, just to get that out the way. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure to keep tuning in, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. We got work in the morning. And y'all be safe, stay in good health. Hope all your families stay safe and be in good health. You know what I mean? We try to get to another year this bullshit that's going on out here. And we see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, sir. It's Black Knight 24. I'm out.
Hit that follow button, man. We rose to 500. When I rose to 500 subscribers.
Man, please hit that.
That's going to be a huge milestone for us. A huge milestone for us, right? Because we get these options of these creator tools, right? We are really on the road to get verified, but right now we worried about the 500 subscribers to get these tools, and that'll help us get the rest of the way, hopefully. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure to check us out. Make sure you share. You know what I mean? As soon as you come in, just go ahead and start sharing this joint so we get everybody up in here. All right? Again, y'all be safe, man. I'm out. Love, peace, Coffee.
You already know, man. We out, bro. Let's go.
Good night.
See y'all tomorrow. Good night. Be good.